So we went to the dog park and we took our dogs, and Bucky, for like, I think it's like the 4th or 5th time in a row now, he has been humped by another dog.
Oh, that poor
He was humped
guy.
by 2 dogs this time.
At the same time?
And if you say we're going to the dog park to him now, he like starts shaking.
Yeah, he's
And we're
terrified.
just taking him to get RAPE'd.
Poor Bucky. Good morning, everybody. I'm Daniel.
I'm Jordan.
And we're
Daniel and Jordan.
Welcome back to the greatest show on the internet. And yes, if you could guess, I've hit puberty yet again for the 2nd time in my life. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning. I'm jealous. I'm waiting my turn.
Yeah. This is, like I always say, this is the deepest voice I've ever had is when I become sick.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You sound like you've been choking down a couple things.
You know, it is what it is. Only I know the truth, guys and gals.
Lock it up and throw it away.
I've I don't know. My voice is just gone. I don't have a sore throat. Like, you know how you get the scratchy, like post-nasal drip? Yeah. PSD, I think is what it's called. PSD. Watch that be the completely wrong acronym.
Yeah. Wish I could correct you, buddy.
But usually get like the soreness and the scratchiness. That's none of that. It literally feels like I'm being choked. It's kind of turning me on.
What if Daniel dies this week? What do I do? Do I continue the show? What do you want me to do if you die this week?
If I die this week, I just want you to, once I pick my spot where I get buried, every Sunday.
Pick your spot after you're dead? Where are you going to be buried?
No, you pick my spot after I'm dead. Well, my wife probably would, but
in the backyard.
I can sign rights over. You just choose where I go. But regardless, wherever that is.
Yes, sir.
Wherever that is, you show up Sunday once a week and we film a podcast.
Okay.
And during my parts,
it's
going to be a lot of work, a lot of production.
Yeah,
you know how to work the mask now.
Yeah, that's true.
You dress as me.
Dress as you.
You get... Okay, I write all my wardrobe off. You get everything.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it may be a little baggy, so you may have to beef up a little bit, which will benefit you.
Yeah.
Kaney would love that.
Yeah. I'll get a bodysuit. I'll just get a bodysuit
Like
with some
Superman.
tattoos. Yeah, I'll do all the tattoos on.
That's hysterical.
If I did one, I'd do one episode of that for sure.
Yeah.
At least one.
No, fuck that. I'm talking every Sunday.
Every Sunday. Okay.
You know, and it doesn't have to be long. It's just 10 minutes.
10 minutes of it? Yeah, sure.
And then, of course, whatever money you get, just send half to the family.
Yeah, and slowly it turns into a porno. Not slowly, I'm just banging
Having
myself.
sex with yourself.
Daniel.
What? You fake it. You fake the deep voice. That'd be funny. But guys, good morning and welcome back. I'm not sick. I just feel like, again, I'm just being choked. You know, my week this week, we've had a great week. A busy week, actually, you know, from, you know, our skit last week to now, there was a lot of...
Well, and by now they've also seen the episode with Tony.
Yeah. So, been a lot of, what do you call that? Been an editing week, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all I've done.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You've been drowning a little bit, so I want to try to take a little relief off you, but it's going to be more for both of us.
And I think that's the cool thing about what we have and being able to communicate as friends and as partners of the show. It's like, hey, I got this going on. Is there a way that you can kind of take a little bit off my chest, which is huge. And just that little bit, I can focus on some family time, focus on me time, take a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I need to take a laxative, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little backed up. Usually when you poop and it comes out pebbles.
Yeah, you've been talking about that pebble thing. Really, Kaney's been needing some laxatives too. It's kind of a feminine thing, huh? What do you think going on there?
Like
not being able, I feel like a man just knows how to shit.
Well, I guess I'm not a man yet.
Yeah, grow up.
I need some more fiber. That's what it is. You know what has fiber in it?
Raisin Bran?
That and semen. Maybe it's that.
A hearty breakfast.
But I am not testing that theory. There's no way. But it's really good to have that kind of communication and say, hey, I got this going on. You think you can try this? Sure. It's much helpful, and I appreciate it for sure.
No, yeah. I think it's good for me to keep busy.
Yeah. But the editing, it's been neck deep. It's been great. I feel like this week I've came across a lot of problems that haven't dealt with in the past. Like the frame is broken within that timeline.
Right.
And, in our editing software, it's like, you guys are probably not interested in this whatsoever, but these are like real life problems, and
the editing never stops.
Yeah,
we do it every week, every week, every video, everything. We do all the editing ourselves. Yeah. You do all the editing for your stuff yourself. It never stops. And so if it gets backed up and you get overwhelmed with it, your mind starts thinking about, well, next week I got to do this, and next week I got to do this, and
true.
Yeah, you got to really keep it on a schedule.
Yeah, and some of the problems of the frame is broken halfway, and then I Google how to find that frame, because in our program it doesn't say go to 30 seconds 0.05 and fix that. Yeah. No, you have to do the math. You have to know what you're shooting in. You divide that by how many seconds are in a minute. Then you multiply that by your frame rate, which is kind of cool because now I know how to find the broken thing. But like I was telling Whitney, like, I come across so many problems this week that I've never dealt with. Like the whole TikTok thing. You're like, low quality. What?
And the
Are
solution?
We low quality? No, we're not. I'm not letting nothing go. Neither is Jordan. We ain't letting shit go out low quality. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, weird.
The solution was just giving it time, and it must have just been that cycle of videos or something. Weird. But they're going out now, normal. Yeah. So,
strange.
Technical difficulties, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a problemo, but they're getting better, and hopefully, as technology advances, it'll sort itself out.
I feel like just going through those issues too. It's like with anything, your day-to-day issues. Work issues. It's like, it's cool, but it's not like you hate that it's going on now. Cause I was like, I'm about to pull my hair out. Yeah. But like after you overcome it and after you figure it out and find the problem and then you create the solution, it's like, ooh, I won. You kind of feel good. Yeah. But it's still a little stressful.
Yeah. Well, when it comes up out of nowhere and it's not something you predicted, we all like to be able to predict our days, especially when things are going to go bad.
You want it to go smooth.
Yeah. It's about how you react to those things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And overcoming them helps.
We had Easter yesterday, so that was fun. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, Jesus.
Yeah, and my thing is, who elected the bunny to be the Easter bunny?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, huh?
I mean, out of all the animals back in the day.
The one that fucks the most and the fastest.
Yeah. Why the Easter bunny? Why didn't they prick? Why didn't they pick the prairie dog?
Prairie dog. It needs, a holiday, sure.
I mean, they're cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
They're funny.
They're funny.
What's the Easter bunny do? I mean, what does a bunny do? The Easter prairie dog. That sounds good.
Why is it a bunny? You really got me thinking, buddy.
Who auditioned these animals for this role?
And do they even have eggs? Do bunnies hash out eggs?
They don't hash out eggs.
They birth the.
They like just humans, have it like right? Humans, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
what's up with
the daddy
eggs?
Bunny eats the baby bunny.
That's not true.
That is facts.
Bunnies eat their own?
Science by Daniel states that sometimes when you breed rabbits, you have to separate the male after the female gives birth because he will eat the bunnies. And I do not know why. I think I don't know the...
domination. Male domination. Nice.
We're hungry.
Yeah.
I want me some rabbit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. True fact. Whenever I was breeding rabbits, you
say that so confidently. Fact. That's a true fact, buddy.
He's going to Google this, and I want a check mark to pop up if I'm correct, okay? Right now. Cha-ching! When I was breeding rabbits, which I did back in the day.
You did breed rabbits?
Yeah, I did have rabbits.
Did you ever see one eat a baby?
No, I seen someone eat my rabbits. Like something ripped the cage apart and ate my fucking rabbits. It was the craziest thing.
What do you think it was?
I had lion head bunnies. They're very pretty, and they call them lion heads because they got this fur around their neck.
On the mane.
And Yeah, I don't know if it was a coyote or like a sphinx, which is kind of like a fox. They're very smart. But it looked like someone had at first I thought someone stole my bunnies.
Yeah.
Which the lionheads, you can breed them and get some really good money. And the thing with bunnies is they breed so fast. And you can have like 2 or 3 times a year.
So you don't even have to get the bunnies horny.
No, they just do it. It's natural.
All natural, huh?
Kind of like
Set
me.
the mood, get them in the room, right?
Yeah,
Get a little
boy.
candle lit.
Yeah, you don't have
You
to
just
do none
let
of
them
that.
go.
You just
sit back and watch.
Hey, Tom, here's Jenny. That's how it happens. And so yeah, the dad eats the babies, but you have to separate it. It's pretty brutal, you know. But who elected the bunny to be the Easter bunny?
Yeah.
You know, when they lined up for auditions, why'd they pick the Easter bunny?
I don't know. They're just probably corporate America. That's back to corporate America. Well, I'll stand by it. All right.
It's y'all's fault.
They came up with, they just said, just give them anything and they'll buy it up. And y'all did. You all went and bought up the Easter bunny.
Fucking give him the bunny.
Yeah. Make a chocolate one. Who cares? They love chocolate and
Put
sugar.
peanut butter in it.
Yeah.
Makes it. The Reese eggs are addictive, by the way. I love those things. They're amazing. I think that's the best part about Easter, to be honest with you. And, you know, Jesus, of course.
Of course, Jesus. Yeah. Jesus is great. He's a close second to the peanut butter Easter eggs.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick. I mean, if there was a choice, Jesus or peanut butter eggs. I mean
the Easter egg on my way to hell.
Yeah, I'm not eating Jesus.
Sorry.
There's no way. Yeah. I feel like that would be murder. I'm not a bunny. I'm not eating daddy.
But
he
rises again today, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
But happy Easter, and thanks for tuning in. But that was my week. We did have Easter yesterday. Got to hang out with friends, family. Got to hunt eggs with Leighton. And this year was like the first year that she really kind of like knew what she was doing because she's 2. So it was cool to like, she was running. I was holding her basket and she was running, picking them up and throwing them in there. She would get like 2 or 3 and then run them over and put them in my basket, you know? So it was super cool to like experience that with her. And yeah, it was fun. I ate shitty though. Very shitty, but it was so good.
Yeah, I've been eating really bad too.
I need to get back on the cycle.
Same here. Yesterday, I went out. So my band, we finished our last song, which I'll show you later. We went out to the studio. My buddy's helping a guy build a studio out in the country, kind of.
Oh, nice.
So we went out there, and that guy came in, and Kanie packed me a lunch for my day at the studio.
How fucking sweet.
She gave me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the crust chopped off for me.
Wow.
A banana and some chips.
She knows you like bananas.
And it was rotten. And so
you're saying it was black.
ate that when I got there. I had coffee as well. Yeah, it was black. It was a black banana. Yeah, and I choked it down. Right? And after I finished it, the guy came in and was like, hey, guys, y'all want us to cook you some hot dogs and hamburgers? And we were like, hell yeah. He went and cooked that. So I choked down 2 hot dogs and a hamburger and some fries after I ate all that other stuff.
Damn.
Then I left there and I got McDonald's and ate another cheeseburger and fries and a pie.
Did you feel like a little swollen the next day in your fingers?
Today?
Yeah.
Because that was yesterday.
When you make a fist, is it hard? Because I'm swollen.
Oh, a little, actually.
My ring wouldn't come off this morning. All the sodium I had yesterday. So we had like cookies. I had an apple pie. I had chips and salsa. These little ham sliders with cheese on Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, the Hawaiian rolls.
God, and they put like garlic salt on them.
Oh,
they're so good. And then my mom made peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had that.
I never have either. I think she was kind of in a pinch and didn't have normal bread for the kids.
But Hawaiian rolls is good with anything. It has to be good with anything.
It was so good. I was like, man, these are good because you got the sweet bread plus the peanut butter and jelly.
Amen.
It was good.
Yeah, we ate like garbage. But the night before that, I had a date night with Kanie.
Oh, nice. What'd y'all do?
We went. Let's see here. I got off work. We went to the dog park, and we took Bucky, which I'll put a picture of him up here. And my Bucky's my real anxious dog.
It would have been weird if you didn't have a dog and you just went to the dog park and she put you on a leash and let you play.
That should be a skit we do.
That would be funny.
So we went to the dog park and we took our dogs, and Bucky, for like, I think it's like the 4th or 5th time in a row now, he has been humped by another dog.
Oh, that poor
He was humped
guy.
by 2 dogs this time.
At the same time?
And if you say we're going to the dog park to him now, he like starts shaking.
Yeah, he's
and we're
terrified.
Just taking him to get RAPE'd.
Poor Bucky.
Yeah, but what do? You got to keep throwing him in the situation. It's like I'm begging for him to snap. Like snap at dogs. Show your boundaries.
Yeah,
show your boundaries. Out. Yeah, snap at something. What is he? Do you think it says something about me?
He's a pussy. I mean, it is how he was raised.
What was it say? That's okay. I get what you're trying to tell me, Daniel. Okay. A little bit of a beta dog, huh? Yeah. I think they smell it on his ass. They smell some beta.
They need he needs to shapen up.
Yeah. Now I've been wanting for him to snap. What do you do about it? Have a talk with the dog? I have a talk with him every night. I love you, buddy, but you need to.
Do you hold him when you're talking?
He hops in my lap while the dogs are trying to hump him. He comes to me and hops into my lap.
You should try yelling at him or beating him.
You know, honestly, I hate to say this. I think there might be some truth to it. I used to think gentle parenting was like really solid.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, not shit listens to me.
I mean, I was borderline child abuse victim when I was younger. I mean, my dad would backhand me sometimes. He was in the Army, and he had this ring that was like, I guess when you retire, I don't know. It was an Army ring. Boy, when that ring hit my skull at 7 years old.
Like brass knuckles.
Yeah. Talking ringing, dinging, and dong. I was
and you listened, right?
Yeah.
See, that's what I need. Maybe I need to get me a good ring for Bucky.
Also, what Dad did, and don't call CPS. I'm okay. I turned out fine. Okay.
Well,
but he would lock me in he wouldn't lock me in anything. He would put me in the bathroom and shut the light off. And I fell asleep on the toilet one time. I wasn't using the toilet, but I did fall asleep on the toilet.
My brothers locked me outside in my whitey tidies once when I was younger. Had to spend a couple hours out there.
That would be fun to watch.
And in closets. My brother would lock me in closets. So,
but yeah, I think Bucky needs to buck up.
Yeah,
buck up, Bucky.
That's right. I think he should start humping some other dogs.
Yeah, that's what I would do as a human.
Yeah, let them know that they're the betas. But anyway, so we went to the dog park. Bucky got humped, and we left. And we were going to go eat. We decided not to go eat. We're just going to go to the movies.
Bucky didn't have an appetite after his trauma.
Yeah. Bucky went and laid in the corner.
Bucky's like, take me home.
Oh, yeah, he does shake. He like literally shakes of anxiety. I think that means I've got anxiety that I'm pushing off onto him or something.
Could be. So what'd y'all watch at the movies?
We went to the movies and saw Late Night with the Devil, which, I'd never even heard of. Neither had Caney. We just looked at what was on the movies and saw it and thought this is the best option. And I saw an hour and a half and I was like, bingo, not staying there longer than that because I can't handle a movie longer. Dune 2, it's like 3 hours long. And I was like, no, thank you. That's my whole night.
Yeah.
And so we went and the movie was kick-ass. You should go check it out if you like horror. Thought it was really good. Like, wasn't too like cheesy where it was like suspense, we're gonna show you this and then not, and then like by the end you're just like, just show me the monster, please. It had good build up, good setting.
Horror movies do have to like captivate me, and ever since I saw The Conjuring, the very first Conjuring, I love the fact it's not corny, it's not cheesy, it's realistic, but they implement some old horror sounds in there, and that changed my whole outlook on scary movies. Now it's like, if it's not filmed or made like The Conjuring, I can't watch it.
Really?
Yeah, I love the old school sound effects.
Conjuring is one of Caney's favorite series.
It was good.
Yeah,
they do a really good job.
Yeah,
but how was if you could compare to other scary movies, like
this movie is what I like about it is more of a unique take. So the idea is that Johnny Carson, the old late night show host. The idea is this guy who is a late night show host who is second tier to Johnny Carson. He's trying to compete to get more viewers.
Gotcha.
And his stuff's tanking, right? His numbers, his viewership, and so he has a Halloween special where he brings on all these someone who can talk to the dead and it's like a horror special and someone who can bring up conjure the devil, basically, right, is the idea. And so a lot of the movie is just kind of setting all this up. Some horror things kind of happen, but nothing that's too over the top. And then by the end, it's just chaos. But like it kind of like the great character building. It's all done, like all the filming is done on like this TV set. So you're like, I love that. I love it just being in this one area. Because I was telling Kanye, is like movies where like you're just traveling to these new places all the time. I find it hard to track what's going on and pay attention. Like things just move too fast paced. And in this one, it was like all done on the set. So like each dialogue felt like it was important to what was happening.
That's cool.
And character building.
I wonder if they had to feel like they were doing that because maybe the budget wasn't so big. So they had to, hey, we got an hour and a half. Let's fucking.
Well, yeah, but that's like the best thing like I've learned with like creating is you look at what you got and what you can work with, and then you make the best you can with it, and stop trying to think that you have to have great, huge productions. You can make great things with low amount of production.
Yeah.
You just have to know how to arrange it in the right way.
Which brings us back to our skit. I forgot to bring it up. It turned out really good, I feel like.
The girl skit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were stressing on it during the process. One, because it was a long time. It was like 5 hours of filming.
Yeah.
And then the building structure of the process took a little while too. But once everything got pieced together, for a week's worth of work, it turned out really good.
Yeah, considering how much work we put into it, which wasn't that insane. You're talking about 4 or 5 hours of footage, and then 4 or 5 hours of editing, maybe. Besides the issues, But it's so funny how like before we put in like all the cuts and edits and music and everything, you just kind of feel like this is just okay. It's good, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow right. But once you do all the editing, it's like, most of the writing is done in the editing.
It's true.
It's really funny how much we wish we had given ourselves a little more leeway, like a little bit more in character, longer cuts. But the editing is where all the writing almost happens.
Yeah, it is strange how that worked out, but it turned out great. It was fun. It was cool to be a woman. And I'd have to say, if y'all haven't seen it, I look pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I hate to.
And you do too. On the thumbnail, you look good.
Thank you.
As the skit goes on, you start to look hideous.
As I say, I act better as a woman than myself.
I know. I'm starting to think the same.
Katie loves that hand thing. Yeah. She loves it. She thinks it's spot on.
Mine's all in the neck.
Yeah. It's a limp wrist, really. Yeah. It's all about it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a disease. I forget what it's called, but where you.
Bitch wrist?
BR. Which,
BW.
It was fun. What did you say?
BW, because wrist is spelled WRIST.
Oh. God, we're fucking. That's so funny. As dumb as we are, we're actually two pretty smart guys. And honestly, at the end of the day, we're damn good looking. And, I'm going to introduce the greatest looking one of us all. And what makes this man great is his brain mixed with his mustache. Mr. Jordan Hunter with today's Word of the Week.
Word of the Week today is priorities. Which is so strange because Daniel had mentioned just before this that he might be thinking about priorities a little bit. Maybe that's an issue he has. I read a quote earlier this week about don't prioritize your schedule your priorities. And I think what that means to me is instead of being caught up in your normal day-to-day schedule that you have to get things done, and you do have to do those things, and then to try to squeeze in things that are priorities to your life, you should schedule your priorities, like my relationship with Kanye or my projects with this. Instead of just trying to squeeze those into my rest of my schedule, have the rest of my, I schedule that into it, and the rest of my schedule has to be squeezed around my priorities. And I think when you do that, you focus on the things that really matter to you. And maybe first step would be like making a list of what your real priorities are, and then seeing what are you doing in your life to work towards those things, to make sure that they are first in charge of your life and that you're working towards increasing that, a focus on the things that actually matter to you. And I think there's a little bit of purpose in that. You can find just a more meaningful life when what you really care about is what you're really working towards.
What was the quote you read?
Don't prioritize your schedule.
Okay, so don't
schedule your priorities.
Don't prioritize your schedule to me is don't. So prioritize means to make first, like
to organize. Right. What's important and what's the next important.
So don't make your schedule the most important thing. Make what makes up that schedule important, right? Is that what?
Yeah, that
you break it down.
You could say something like that a different way. Yeah, like saying your schedule of the things you have to do, right? Because you do have to do things that aren't priorities, also.
Yeah.
Or they are priorities, but they're not like meaningful priorities. Like you have to
masturbate.
You have to masturbate.
But there's no good to that.
Like, that's a priority of sorts.
You don't get paid for that. I mean, you might on your OnlyFans account, but like,
But you have to scoop the cat litter shit.
Yeah.
You
have to do that.
You have to do it. It's not, I'm not going to put it on my list of top priorities,
right.
But it has to be done.
Yeah. I'm not making planning shit number one on my list.
Yeah. Yeah. But my family, my relationship, my projects that are working towards something that I really want to do in the future, sometimes all those things like that, your normal day-to-day life things, become overwhelming, and you end up, the things you care about, you try to squeeze them in.
Yeah.
And in turn, sometimes they never get squeezed in. And instead, your priorities are being scheduled.
Yeah.
You are doing this at this time, and everything else, well, you better be scooping that cat litter shit earlier or faster, because right here you have a block of spending time with family. Here you have a block of going on a date night with your spouse. Here you have a block of editing.
Right.
Let
me pick your brain with this. So your classic American dream, whatever, obviously, when you talk to people and they're like, what's number one in your life? It's either, 90% of people's like God, family, and then work. How do you prioritize your loved one and work? Because it's almost like you have to work. You have to make money, unfortunately, in today's society. Now, take work away, I would say family would come first. So, and this is pretty deep. It's not like I love work more than family, because I love my family.
Well, work,
but
certainly.
You have to make it fun. Like, if you don't work, if you don't put work first, it's almost like your family life could suffer. You could cause more stress on your home life because you're worried about bills and you're worried about money. So what is the right answer when it comes to what do you prioritize first? Do you prioritize work or do you prioritize family? Because that's a lot of people talk about that all the time.
Yeah, I think people, work, you have to have money to have security for your family, to have food on the table, to do all those things. So certainly work and family can go hand in hand a bit, right? And then there's a balance, right? It's all about a balancing act. If you're working so much that you're not giving like emotional support or having intimate connections with your family, well, now you're out of balance. And I think that's like that work-life balance. I think there's a line that you should not cross.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, it's hard to say that. Is there too much family you can have over work?
Yeah.
If you're not supporting your family with work, yeah. But other than that, I guess the problem is you start to think about security. And I think that's like the big issue is everyone's so concerned with security that in a capitalistic nation, we just are all striving to collect as much money and work as hard as we can so that we have all of our stuff here to make sure we're going to be secure in the future. And there's no way to predict how much money that is.
Yeah, there's no way to predict how long we're going to be here either.
Yeah,
that's
right. So sometimes you overdo it to where you have all this stuff and then you realize, what did I spend my life doing?
Yeah, or you get in a fucking car accident and you're paralyzed. You got all this stuff that are not necessarily needs. It's, it's more luxury or play products, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you get in a car accident and you can't move nothing but your mouth. You're fucked. You can't go jet skiing. You can't go on a boat. You can't ride your bike. I mean, you know what I mean?
No, yeah.
You never know.
And what matters in that? What do you think when
it comes down to that, what matters is the people you're surrounded by, which is that family? Is that your husband? Is that your wife? You know, what matters at that point is, one, I'm still alive. My mouth's moving, you know what I mean? I can still, you know. But, you know, what truly matters is who's going to be there to take care of me? Because I'm helpless at that point.
Yeah.
Is it going to be my wife? Is it going to be my kids? You know, so I think what you said as far as finding a balance, I feel like work and family's here, but it's being able to keep it level.
Yeah.
Not letting it work overcome the family, and then not letting play and fun overdo your work, because then you lose focus of your job at the end of the day, what unfortunately has to provide for your family to keep the stress levels down. So again, you just got to find that balancing act. Yeah. And maybe at times work overdoes the family, and then you're like, oh crap, you know, I got to refocus my priorities. And then, you know, your family comes up a little bit, and then, you know, I feel like it's a constant balance. There's never what is balance? You know what I mean?
Balance is constant. Yeah, it's constant. That is a good point, is that balance is, you constantly have to be focused on balance.
Always.
What am I doing too much of? What am I doing too little of? It never ends. You don't just find balance and then done with that, figured it out. You always are, because with focus, you have to go spend time over here. And then when you spend time over here, it teeters up this side. So now you go over here and spend time focused on that and teeter it up this way. And I think why it's so complicated with work and family is because those are the two sides of that balance and the priorities. A lot of people would say God is above that, and or whatever they want to put there. But those are the ones that like are necessities to life, and they interrupt each other. Yeah. And are, you know, they're number one and number two, basically.
Yeah. I think when people say you got to find balance, listen, you're never going to find balance. You just have to understand balance. And that's, I think, what it boils down to. You're never going to find that true, like the point to where you're just content. Yeah. It's never going to happen. There's always going to be anomalies that, did I say that word right? Can I get my check mark or my X? You know, I don't know.
I don't know. Daniel's using words I don't know now.
But there's always going to be stuff that happens, right? Whether you have another child or you get in a car accident. So it's not finding balance. It's understanding what makes everything level out and understanding the balance.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of things are like that, like contentment and happiness. It's not a peak that you hit and you're there and you're done. Mm-hmm. It's always, you're working towards it. It's always available to you. Yeah. And if you can just focus on it and be it, but it always can go. Yeah. It's just, what is your focus on? Because you can have like your happiest days of your life ever, and then the next have your worst. Yeah. And it's how you view it. A lot of times your mindset. Mm-hmm. And I think with balance, it's a great point that it's a constant focus of keeping in mind, how can I keep everything balanced? Yeah. And it's funny because you say that, because like I've talked to people about like mixing music, and when you're mixing songs, it's all about balance. Mm-hmm. It's all about, is there a little too much of this? Or maybe you want a little too much of this because there's a little flavor. Or maybe you want a little less of this, or you're always trying to keep it really well balanced to where it's not overly one or the other, because no one likes just too much of anything. Too much sugar, too much salt in your food.
Too much perfect.
Well, too much sugar in my food, actually. I don't hate that.
Too much sugar in my tank. Yeah. Don't hate that either.
Like you said, you were going to say tank.
No. Or that. I mean, that'd be nice, but
it'd be nice to eat it out.
Whoa. Yeah. So what you were saying is finding that perfectness. It's just in existence. I feel like, you know, there's going to be times where your wife or your girlfriend or your husband get a little upset at times. And then there's going to be times where y'all are great, you know, and I think everybody part of the family has to understand the balance as well. Not just one person, because you got to be all part of that scale. Yeah. I feel like, and 100%. And if not, maybe her priorities are out of whack, you know what I mean? And it's whether that's a relationship or just the single life, you know,
Oh yeah.
It's
This is more simple in a single life because it's just you.
You and your dog
That
getting at the dog park. Just you and Bucky.
Yeah, the only balance we're out of is just a little less.
Yeah, a little less and more of the. But it's tough, and life is tough, and that's the thing. We're gonna get thrown issues, and it's understanding how to deal with these problems and understanding how to react to the situation. And life's all about learning, and some days we're going to react wrong and we're going to make the wrong decision. But at the end of the day, at least when that problem arises again, you're going to know how to deal with it or what to change because you reacted this way in the past. Just like editing. If I come across a frame rate issue again, I know the equation to find the frame rate. It's going to happen. It's bound to happen again. Yeah. But this time I'll be able to work through that problem a little bit more smoother instead of like, what do I do? What do I do? And you can take that with editing. You can take that with work. You can take that with relationships. It's all about just figuring it out and, having some strength to hang in there. You got to be able to deal with these problems. And at the end of the day, if it's with a relationship, if you truly love that person, you're going to hang in there. You know what I mean? And I don't know. It's crazy how one thing you can just relate with so many different things. Balance can relate with so much shit.
Yeah.
What is the healthy balance? Understanding what makes up the balance, I feel like is the answer to that golden question.
Yeah. I think of it as like awareness.
Yeah.
It's just like once you become aware that that's the game you're playing in life, it's nice that like when things get out of balance, you realize, oh yeah, things are out of balance. Yeah. Once you know that that's the game that you're playing, it's like, okay, well then I need to tilt this way a little bit more. I just think you become a more stabilized human.
Yeah.
Once you just know the game you're playing in life. And balance is, I guess, the word of the week.
Yeah. Life is hard. Life's tough. And to be successful in life, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of practice. And that's just how it is. Nothing in life is ever easy. Nothing's handed to you.
Yeah.
Success is not just given to you at the end of the day.
And there's not really a goal. There's not like an end point.
No.
Till death.
Yeah.
But like there isn't like we're all just like, it's like we're all sitting around waiting for something to happen that's going to be what we think it's going to be. But like you say, you reach it and then you have a new goal beyond that. And we never reach our official goals. We just don't. And that's why contentment's so important, that in this moment that you take its time being mindful and be in the moment, meditation, be a human animal.
Oh, that was my next, I'm glad you said in the moment. That was my question. So do you feel like it's important to live in the moment because you never know what's going to happen next?
Yeah. Well, I think, of course. I think that's one of the keys to finding contentment and happiness, I think, is loving the moment.
Yeah.
Because if your head's always in the future, you just never predict it properly, and it's never fully satisfying.
Could be let down.
Yeah, you could be let down even worse. Yeah, right. And even, and so I think finding a way to just be okay with what it is now. Yeah, I think it calms you more.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm living in the moment, going with the flow. Sometimes that kind of gets under Whitney's skin a little bit, like, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. This podcast could reach millions of people tomorrow. Cool. If not,
or we could lose all of our subscribers.
Yeah. Even worse. All 6 of you would just go and piss me off. But no. But yeah, priorities. Prioritize your stuff. Make a list. Get together with your significant other. Make a list together. Find your balance. Not only that, because it's not going to happen, understand it together, and it will work.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to add too is like me with I get real anxious, and in my head.
Yeah.
And so the way I think I was wanting to start this off with priority, which I just think I liked what we did there, but I feel like I get real anxious about things. And lately when I think of priorities, I'm just trying to think like, is this anxiety and overthinking hurting me trying to get our project done or my relationship with Kanie? Am I causing fights because I'm being too anxious? And that's where it's time to put a priority on that emotion and put that below my relationship with Kanye. That I cannot allow this anxiety and this overthinking to interrupt with these things that I love, because that's not the way of life I want. That's not what I want. So I shouldn't do that. It's not my priority. I need to keep that in check and not allow myself be conscious of it, and to put that priority where it belongs.
Maybe you should prioritize going to see a doctor and getting on some fucking medicine. I mean, honestly, seriously, because that's how I felt whenever this all started.
Yeah.
And, you know, I got on a small dose of venlafaxine. There's no side effect. I'm not sleepy or tired, and I'm not wrong for being on some kind of medicine. If anything, I felt like it takes, you know, a week or two. It takes a little while. If you do it right, you know, you can find something to take off the edge real quick. But I promise
been doing that for a decade now.
there might not be some side effects to that, but you know, it's okay. It's all right to understand, like, hey, you know, anxiety is 9 times out of 10, it's a chemical imbalance within your body. And you got to find that balance of the chemicals in your body to be able to focus on the priorities. And it was weird how Whitney was like, you need to get on something. You need to get on something. No, I don't. I'm fine. I'm okay. And I'm glad I did. I'm not on anything now, which I'm kind of feeling like, you know, I'm probably need to get back on my venlafaxine. Maybe that'll take the edge off. Maybe what I see on my plate is not that big and I'm just overthinking it, or I'm stressing out for no reason, you know, and maybe I can't focus on what is important. Just like I was telling you before the show, like if it's on my table, even if it has to be done in 2 weeks, if it's sitting on the table, it's going to get done this week. That's just how my body works. So maybe getting back on a small dose of Venla. Maybe we should get on something together. You know what I mean? And just test the theory. I'm probably going to do it, to be honest with you, because I have been feeling a little overwhelmed. And earlier, you know, a trigger was like the kids yelling, the dog barking, the TV on, the tablet going, the phone's going, the beeping on the microwave's going because supper's done. All that is a trigger. Noise is a trigger. But now it's like,
and I'm over here trying to jack off. How's a man supposed to jack off?
How are you supposed to masturbate
with all
under
those
these
stimulations?
You know, it's just, it's not doable. So maybe I do get on something. The trigger was the noise then. Maybe the trigger now to me is my workflow or the pile of things that I have to do. So honestly, it's probably a good idea for me to get on a little something just to take the edge off and for me to be able to focus on what's important and understanding the balance. It's probably right in front of my face.
Yeah.
But I can't focus on it because I'm like so overwhelmed with shit I got to do. You know what I mean? So it's all right to be on medicine. What's the reason you don't? Like, is it, is it a pride thing?
You know, there's, no. I certainly don't have a pride about it. I was on antidepressants for a short time when I had a little traumatic stuff happen when I was younger.
Now there's a difference.
I know.
Antidepressants and anxiety medicine.
I didn't enjoy that experience.
Yeah, it's almost like a down.
Oh no, I was like, my teeth were chattering from it, and that was not a fun experience.
You were on some high drugs.
Yeah,
damn.
I was a little loopy, which was fun. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the.
Did you let your doctor know, like, hey, my teeth are chattering?
I just quit, and I was like, I'll just deal with this myself. So there's two sides of it, right? That I feel like, I don't feel like it's an overwhelming amount to where I am like not getting shit done because of anxiety necessarily. Maybe, but I don't. I feel like I've learned a lot of coping things through the process. I remember that one time I went through a big breakup and I was ultra anxious. Like I couldn't sleep at night because I was so like tore up about it and anxious. And I went through that time. I went through a time of just learning how to do deep breathing exercises and doing a little bit of meditation. And I feel like I really learned how to cope in a very like, I have control over this. I can do this mentally myself at this time, and it can help. Because I feel like being able to rely on myself to do it is just more strength. And I know that that's not like, I don't mean it in a prideful way. I mean that I think that that's important to be able to do it yourself. And I certainly actually probably will end up going and trying to find a small dosage so that I could like calm some anxiety. Because I do have it too far to where it's like for no reason waking up in the mornings with anxiety. I'll wake up in the middle of the night. For sure.
Yeah.
It's like there's something going on. Because I don't have anything to be anxious about also. That's the other thing is like my life's more calm than it's ever been. And I still have the exact same kind of anxiety just commonly going on.
Yeah, just tell them you don't want an antidepressant. Just tell them you want something to take the edge off. Something like, I got a little anxious feelings when I wake up. And there's so many different kinds of medicine out there. So if it doesn't work, don't be like, oh, fuck this shit. Yeah. You know, there's different levels of medicine. There's different types of medicine, you know, and what works for me is any of your family on anything?
Not that I know of. My mom probably.
In a lot of stuff, what works with your family, your mom's definitely
on something.
Sorry, Melinda. I love you. Hey, we're just alive. But if it works, usually if it works for your mom or whatever, it'll work for you.
Yeah.
That's how that a lot of
that makes sense.
And although I was on venlafaxine, which my sister is not, but that worked for me. There's no like, I wasn't chattering or anything. But if you do have side effects, tell your doctor so they can reevaluate the problem. Because it's a process, especially if you don't, you know, if you've never been on anything before and you don't go to the same doctor. It's a process. Yeah. You got to trust the process at that point, you know. So, but as far as being, I understand you're not like, saying all that and, you know, being prideful about it to let your body do it. But maybe you need to be on something to be able to let your body do it, to elevate certain chemicals and to level out certain chemicals to be able to let your natural body do that. And it's okay. Like there's chemicals in your body that if you have too much or too less, you can't function properly. And that medicine is to help level out those chemicals to be able to let you function properly. And if you're on the right medicine, the right dose, you're not going to have any kind of side effects. You're just going to flow normal day to day. And when you find that, it's like, man, this is pretty nice. You know? You're able to enjoy the moment. You're able to focus on the important things, prioritize certain things. And honestly, the more I'm talking about, I'm like, okay, I'm calling a doctor on Monday, you know, so.
Yeah, I think we're animals. The reality is that we have chemical, and you know, Lord knows I'm shoving in the worst kind of chemicals into my body. With
and I remember that breakup. I just can't remember his name. Was it Tom, Dick, or Harry?
Was it Ben or Bruce?
Yeah, Bruce was your stepdad. But yeah. Anyways, find balance.
What does that kind of bring us to?
That brings us to something really important that I wanted to talk about today. It's the thing that just makes me want to take a vanilla folder, spread my fingers, and give myself a paper cut.
Jesus.
Makes me want to stick my tongue to the stove with it on high. Broil, actually. Or in other words, we like to say,
what twists our nips? What twists your nips, Daniel?
Well, do you take baths?
Every once in a while.
This doesn't have to do with any kind of, you know, conditioner or product for the bathroom.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, me too. Have you ever farted in a bathtub?
It smells pretty good, doesn't it?
That pisses me off. Why do farts in a bathtub smell the worst?
Yeah, it has to be getting into the humidity or something and rising faster.
I mean, it's methane gas. What your body produces is methane gas, right? Daniel, science.
Are you saying you don't like the smell or like it?
No, I hate it. It smells terrible. Do you enjoy it? You need to go to the fucking doctor, okay?
I don't mind that. I don't mind a dog's breath. I don't know what's going on.
Now, I enjoy natural farts.
You do? You enjoy your own brand, right?
Yeah, my own brand. Yeah, I enjoy my own brand of fart.
Well, you know, everything has its brand, certainly.
I fart out different brands sometimes. It depends on what I eat.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Oreo has vanilla and chocolate.
This one time, I ate half a jar of peanut butter at work because this was when I had no money, okay? And I ate a half a jar of peanut butter. And believe it or not, if you eat a half a jar of peanut butter and you fart, it smells like fucking peanut butter.
Yeah.
It
McDonald's
is so
smells
weird.
like McDonald's afterwards.
I haven't had that happen, but have you had the peanut butter farts?
I've never ate that much peanut butter.
And there's
once.
a sign that it's fact. Like I Googled it, something in your body. I don't know what it is.
Does it smell like peanut butter with a hint of fart?
It's a weird, strange peanut butter smell, but you can signify like, damn, I smell peanut butter. Not like a fresh open jar of Jif. More like a fresh open jar of Shijif. But you can definitely tell it's peanut butter. But anyways, back to these bubble farts.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah. To
well,
the
I
point
like
to
it,
like,
so I gotta twist my nips in the right way.
Yeah. I farted in the hot tub before. Even worse. 104 degree heated up meth. Maybe it's the temperature of the methane gas.
Hot farts smell the worst.
Yeah, because your body's only, 90-something degrees? 97?
Yeah, heat and farts.
So
they definitely mix.
The bath water is clearly hotter than your body temperature, or it doesn't feel good, right?
Yeah.
So maybe the gas, I think I'm fucking onto something. Maybe the heating up the methane gas is what causes the stench.
I feel like this is probably already all researched, and we probably could just Google this.
You're probably right, because the peanut butter myth has been Googled.
Yes.
So why not? I'm surely that's been on
methane.
Someone's priority list to figure that out.
Yeah. Farts. Yeah, hot farts. It's funny, though. That doesn't bother me nearly as much. I actually kind of, there's just something about it. It's like your ball smell, you know?
Now, there's nothing that's better than that.
Yeah, ball smell's not that bad. At least my own.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I'd want to smell anybody else's.
Everyone does that, dude. And I know I'm going to turn this into a short of us smelling the balls, but dude, if you're a dude and you don't do it, you're lying to yourself, or you're missing out. You're missing out.
Maybe you should go get it checked at the doctor.
Go to the gym, and there's that little break in between where you're about to get in the shower.
Oh, yeah.
You just whoosh.
Okay, so let me ask you this. This is a little personal. You ever get an itch like at the top of your butt crack? Not in your crack, not near your butthole, but at the top.
There's been a time in my life. I don't know if that was when I was.
You go back there and it's a little damp.
Yeah.
And you smell it.
Yeah.
That smells surprisingly decent as well.
Decent as well.
Don't put that on the internet.
Well, let's go. Yeah, I've got the content now. I've got exactly what I need. No, yeah, I don't mind just like real gross smells, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost satisfying.
It's homely.
Strange.
It's like nostalgia.
There's something about masculinity. You know, Whitney likes the smell of her nose ring. I like the smell of earrings.
Ooh, like when you like the ear junk.
Yeah, it smells good. Like you play with it and then you're like,
so bad it smells good.
Yeah, it's
like a pug. It's so ugly, it's cute.
Exactly. And it's kind of like pimple pus.
Okay, no, I get completely out on all that.
Okay, so like you said, there was a line and I crossed it. But yeah, that's what twists my nips, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but that's what twists mine. And now we come to a new part of the show, guys. This is something that, Jordan and I have been thinking about for a long time. So we have this number for you to call. And what we'll do is post it in the description, which we need to do that. And you know what? We're going to pop it up right here in the middle of us. But we have a call.
And let me read the number real quick so when it pops up. It's 615-669-7767. Give us a call and leave a voicemail. We'll play your voicemail live on the show, and we will answer it together. I'll check on before, so I might know ahead of time. So just to give y'all a little hint. But Daniel will be live reacting to everything. We have one this week.
And here we go.
Yeah, I got a question. This is Ricky Davis, and the other night I was drinking a few beers, and I was just down there in the living room with my wife, and things started getting hot and heavy, and, we started getting after it. And then all of a sudden, I was hitting it from the back quite hard, and my daughter walks downstairs, and she's standing there looking, and I don't know what to do, so I kept going and finished. And now the wife's mad at me because I didn't stop. I mean, I just need to know, what should I have done? Am I going to stop mid-stroke or just keep going? Or what do you do when your kids find you down in the middle of the stairs, drunk as hell, pounding the wife like the dog she is, What do you do? I Holler back at me, all right?
All right, well, Ricky Davis, here's what you do. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance, okay? You got to plan for this shit.
I say it was a free life lesson.
Definitely. For the both of you.
Yeah. She knows what time of night not to come down the stairs.
Listen, a little cosplay would be great. I mean, get you a blanket, pretend to be Batman. If your daughter walks down, swoop that cape around.
Justice has been served.
Exactly. That's what I would do. Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. I don't know how many P's that is, but I think it's 6.
Well, what do you do when you're hammered? You're just drinking. You do much planning ever, Daniel?
I mean, no.
Yeah, that's right. When you're in the mood, do you do much planning, Daniel?
Definitely not.
No. I say you just keep going, buddy. That's life, you know?
Yeah.
And your daughter one day might be getting pounded by a man like you herself.
You know, Ricky Davis, at the end of the day, you're a fucking hero.
Yep. Amen.
So, yeah, if you guys want to call in, you know, it could be funny, just like Ricky Davis's story, or it can be something you truly want to know about. I enjoy the funny stuff.
Yeah. Send in anything, honestly, and we'll answer it. We'll play it live. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. If you benefited from this episode, send it to somebody. If you have a trouble with prioritizing, call us and let us know how we can help to fix that. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like we give pretty good advice mixed with a little bit of brainless humor. And that's kind of what this show is built around. Speaking of show, we're doing the rebranding soon, with this being the season finale.
Yep, season finale. I know we didn't make a huge deal out of this one for y'all, so sorry, but we are starting a new season.
Yeah.
Which
season
is
two.
Season 2, which means we're a show.
Yep.
And we have seasons now.
Yep. The Daniel and Jordan Show. What separates us? What makes us turn to show from podcast? What do you think?
Well, where it's more skits, which we're going to have to find a way to just like get how often we're going to do those. It seems like we want to do them like every other week, but we have our interviews and stuff like that. Yeah. So I just think we're just doing anything we want is the thing is this podcast. We're not just sitting here having a conversation. We do that as well, but we do a lot of cool things. And we're going to start doing cool segments where maybe we'll do a little bit of editing tricks, and maybe we could do one
on the first episode. Yeah.
On the first episode. I was about to say
maybe
now.
Go from before and after, like, here's Daniel and Jordan podcast. Maybe we transition on the next show.
Yeah. Next show it'll be we'll come up with some cool ideas of cool editing tricks, and maybe we'll have a little bit more fun on set than just sitting here having a conversation.
You know, I think what separates us too is a lot of our shorts are, you know, just funnier than your normal podcast shorts. I feel like we put a lot into our shorts, which is great. I feel like we put a lot into our production aspect of it with the pop-ups and the segments and the voice calls. You know, it's different from a podcast. It's almost like a radio show mixed with a TV show, in my opinion. Yeah.
And our shorts, it's like all basically new content. It's not like, as you listen to this, you might be looking for a part of that short where we talk about that. But, you know, I like to take it and I chop it all up and make a whole new storyline. So it's all unique content.
And all of the shorts, the full video is linked to that. So if you see a short on YouTube that you like, there's the full video, the full podcast, or the full show of that episode is linked with that short. So it's easy to find. If you're like, I really like this short, you know, I wish I could hear the full episode. All you got to do is click that link and it's there for you. So,
yep. Thanks for hanging out with us for season 1, and we're excited to see y'all in season 2.
And we had a win out of this season. We had the most streams on a single day of just the Daniel and Jordan without a guest, which is big for us.
Yeah,
that's good. 9 streams. I mean, that's really good.
Yeah,
and just on audio.
Yeah. Right. And every week we've hit a new peak with shorts. Yeah. Every week one of our video shorts becomes a new top video. We're almost at 200 subscribers now, which grew from, I think, like not this past Friday, but the Friday before, which is like a week and a half, we've gained over double our subscribers. So we're hoping this is a rise to something good. Maybe we'll just keep going uphill. Yeah. We'll let y'all know when it starts turning down.
Yeah. You'll see the mood change.
Yeah. There'll be real dim lighting.
Antidepressants. But yeah, guys, at the end of the day, whether we're the Daniel and Jordan podcast or the Daniel and Jordan show, just remember, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Jordan.
And we're Daniel and Jordan. We'll see you next time.
Atro.